Some people think courage is loud. They think it looks like shouting, or marching, or standing on a stage with a brave smile. But real courage, the kind that grows in hospital rooms, quiet homes, and fragile hearts, begins in the smallest moments. And sometimes, it starts with just one person whispering, "You don't have to face this alone." Today, we're talking about how a true community of courage is built one warrior, one voice, one story at a time. There's a moment in every difficult journey where a person realizes that strength alone isn't enough. You can be brave, you can push forward, you can fight with everything you have, but without someone to walk alongside you, the road can feel unbearably heavy. A community of courage isn't formed by people who have it all figured out. It's built by ordinary individuals who decide that sharing their truth is more powerful than hiding their pain. When someone steps forward and tells their story, whether it's about battling illness, facing fear, or enduring loss, they ignite a spark in someone else. That spark becomes hope. And hope, when shared, becomes courage. This is how communities are born. Not from perfection, not from pretending to be strong, but from vulnerability. From the bravery of one person saying, "This is my truth," and another answering, "Me too." A community of courage grows from real moments. The late-night messages, the trembling confessions, the days when someone says, "I can't do this," and another person holds their hand and whispers, "Then, I'll sit with you until you can." These moments weave people together in ways that feel deeper than friendship. They feel like family. Not by blood, but by experience. By shared strength, by shared battle scars. What makes a warrior is not the fight, it's the willingness to keep going, even when the fight feels impossible. And when warriors come together, something extraordinary happens. They don't just survive their own battles, they help others survive theirs. They lift each other up, they pay attention, they listen, they show up. And in that showing up, they create a circle of courage stronger than anything they could build alone. But here's the truth. Courage doesn't always look the same. Some warriors roar, some whisper, some struggle to speak at all, and all of them matter. Every voice counts. Every story matters. Every tear shed and every victory won contributes to the collective strength of the community. No warrior is too quiet, too broken, too tired, or too scared to belong. This is a place where every person's courage is honored, no matter what it looks like. Healing becomes different when you are surrounded by people who understand. Suddenly, pain feels lighter. Fear becomes manageable. The nights that once felt long and lonely become softer because you know someone else is awake somewhere, feeling the same thing. When warriors gather, even in silence, they create a comforting hum, a reminder that no one is fighting in the dark. Support isn't always loud or dramatic. Sometimes, it's the message sent at the right moment. "I'm thinking of you." Sometimes it's a warm meal, a shared laugh, a story that makes you remember that there's still joy in the world. These small gestures carry enormous weight because they remind someone of their humanity, their worth, and their place in this world. Even when life feels unstable, the presence of others offers grounding. A community of courage thrives on authenticity. That means showing the messy parts, the complicated emotions, the moments you wish you could hide. Because in truth, people don't connect to perfection, they connect to humanity. They connect to the cracks in your armor, because those cracks show where the light gets in. Warriors bond through their scars. They recognize them in each other like mirrors. When you open up about your struggle, you give others permission to open up about theirs. You become the reason someone else feels safe enough to speak the truth they've been carrying in silence. And that is powerful. Courage is contagious when shared with kindness. But every strong community begins with one person who refuses to stay silent. One person who steps into their truth and says, "This is hard, but I'm here." One person who reaches out a hand instead of turning away. One person who chooses empathy over indifference. You don't need a title or a platform to build courage. You just need a heart willing to care. Every time someone stands beside another warrior, the community becomes stronger. And when a new person arrives, scared, overwhelmed, unsure, they are welcomed with open arms, not asked to prove their strength, not asked to hide their fear. They are simply accepted. Because in this community, courage isn't a requirement, it's a gift that naturally grows when people feel safe enough to be themselves. As the community grows, so does its impact. Warriors begin to understand that their individual stories carry weight. Their honesty can change lives. Their resilience can inspire others. Their presence can be exactly what someone needs to stay hopeful another day. Courage multiplies when people rise together. One of the most beautiful things about a courage-based community is how freely encouragement flows. No one keeps score, no one expects perfection, and no one compares their battles. Instead, they celebrate every small victory, the first day without tears, the moment someone laughs again, the day someone finally sleeps peacefully for the first time in months. These milestones may seem small to outsiders, but to warriors, they mean everything. A community of courage teaches its members that it's okay to rest, that it's okay to step back, that healing is not linear, and no one expects you to pretend it is. There will be days when you feel unstoppable and days when you feel undone, and both are valid. In this space, people are allowed to be human, not heroes. And that honesty is what makes the community strong. When a warrior falls, the others lift them. When someone breaks down, they are surrounded with compassion. When someone loses hope, others lend them theirs. And when someone rises, the entire community rises with them. This is the power of unity, the power of standing together through the hardest moments of life. The truth is, courage doesn't grow in isolation. It grows in connection. It grows in empathy. It grows when stories are shared, hands are held, and hearts are open. A warrior standing alone is strong, but a community of warriors standing together is unbreakable. What makes this kind of community special is the understanding that everyone contributes something unique. Some bring humor, some bring wisdom, some bring calm, some bring fire. Whether someone is loud or soft-spoken, experienced or just starting their journey, they add to the tapestry of strength that holds everyone together. This is how movements begin quietly, with a few people who refuse to let fear win. Warriors who decide that healing is too heavy a burden to carry alone. People who choose connection over isolation. People who choose hope, even when everything around them feels uncertain. Over time, the community becomes more than a gathering, it becomes a legacy. A living, breathing reminder that courage doesn't fade. When shared, it grows. It expands. It becomes bigger than any single person's story. And it begins to shape the lives of people who haven't even joined yet. Someone out there right now is looking for a sign. Someone is searching for a place where they won't be judged, where they won't have to pretend, where they won't have to be strong all the time. They're looking for a community like this. They're looking for a warrior like you. One of the greatest acts of courage a warrior can offer to their community is the willingness to show up even when they feel drained, uncertain, or overwhelmed. There will be days when your strength feels distant, when exhaustion wraps around your shoulders, and when you feel like you have nothing left to give. And yet, on those very days, your presence can become a lifeline for someone else. Because showing up doesn't always mean offering solutions or inspiring speeches. Sometimes, it simply means being there quietly, gently, with a heart that understands the weight of the battle. When you show up for others despite your own struggle, you remind them that their pain is not a burden and their story is worth listening to. You prove that community is built on shared humanity, not on the illusion of constant strength. And something beautiful happens. The very act of supporting someone else often sparks a small glow inside you, a reminder that you're still capable of connection, kindness, and meaning. Even in your emptiness, you offer hope. Even in your quiet, you offer comfort. And in return, the community gives back to you, wrapping you in understanding and reminding you that you are never fighting alone. This is what makes the warrior spirit so extraordinary. You don't need to be full to make a difference. You just need to be willing to stand beside someone in their darkness, even when your own light is flickering. And maybe that's where you come in. Maybe your story, your pain, your resilience, your survival is the very thing that will help someone else feel less alone. Maybe your willingness to share your truth will be the bridge that leads someone from hopelessness to healing. Maybe your courage is exactly what someone else needs to remember their own. Building a community of courage doesn't happen overnight. It happens moment by moment, story by story, heart by heart. It begins when you decide to use your experience not as a wall, but as a window. Not as a shield, but as a light. And that's the beauty of this journey. Every warrior who joins makes the community stronger. Every voice makes it richer. Every act of kindness makes it more powerful. Together, warriors become a force nothing can silence. A community of courage is not built by perfect people, it's built by real people. People who show up, even when they're scared. People who reach out, even when they're hurting. People who use their story to ignite hope in others. And maybe today, that person is you. If this message touched you, share it with someone who might need strength today. Because courage isn't something you keep, it's something you pass on. One warrior, one story, one heart at a time.